My name is Wendy Ford from Cash Life Mastery, and today you are joining Cash Life Mastery Social Juice. Tweet with the end in mind. Yes, that's right, guys. Today we are talking about Twitter and how we can use Twitter to take our business into skyrocketing profits. And like I said, my name is Wendy Ford from Cash Life Mastery, where we're helping entrepreneurs onto a path to success. And if you would like to contact me, we are Cash Life Mastery on Facebook. We would love to hear from you with any of your questions, concerns, and help you get your business into profit. Today, guys, joining me is my co-host, Keith Keller, the king of Twitter. And Keith, would you like to introduce yourselves and tell people how to...
So, look, if you haven't heard of me before, my name is Keith Keller, Keith, Keller. The reason I'm spelling that out is because we're putting this podcast on iTunes. The thing I love about Blab is that not only do you get the live stream video, you get the audio, which you can put on SoundCloud and increasingly onto iTunes. You get the video that you can put onto YouTube or Vimeo. So it's a multi-dimensional process. And my piece of the puzzle is that I've decided to master Twitter. I'm a little bit of a one-trick pony, but we've got some good stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks around about the idea of using Twitter for business. Not for fun, not to tell people you're walking the dog, but to tell people that, look, I've got a book, or I'm speaking next week, or I've got a gig coming up, or I've just written a blog post and I'd love you to read it. And it's a really great traffic driver. That's the thing that Twitter really is good at. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I have to say, over all of the social media, because Twitter is so fast, you can really shout out your business ideas and things that you're doing many times throughout the day, and it just seems to get a whole lot more response because people know on Twitter that if I see it now, I have to respond now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so different from all the other social media.
Well, I've been doing a lot of research on the various sites, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google+, and I know for sure that of the sites that I personally use for the tribe that I'm trying to reach, I get about 68% of my traffic from using Twitter. 68%. About 24% comes from Facebook, a couple of percent from LinkedIn. I'm personally not getting any traffic from Pinterest or Google+. Not me personally. Other people am, but I'm not. So Twitter is a driver of traffic. And when I say tweet with the end in mind, of course, you've got to have somewhere to send people to. It's not I'm having a coffee at the beach with my friend Wendy, or here I am walking the dog and isn't that wonderful? It's here's an article I wrote. Here's a great article a friend wrote. Here's an event I'm speaking at. Here's a book that I've been asked to write. Here's a video I saw that you might like. It's sharing useful content. And that's why I say tweet with the end in mind. I've got a system for this. I'm going to work you through today. But would you agree that's what Twitter's about? It's about sharing content so that people can learn and benefit from it?
Absolutely. And with what you're saying, you have to have that home base, guys. And your home base is always not your social media like you may think. It is your website. You have to have that website. It is home base for everything. You want to drive your traffic to it. Your offers should always be within your website. And then you're tweeting and using your other social media to drive traffic to home base.
I absolutely. This is actually the fundamental point. The fundamental point about tweeting with the end in mind is that really the goal is to send people back to your website so that they can read your blogs, so they can watch your videos, so they can find out what you do. There's no point hanging out in Twitter all day and then not really having a chance to bring people back unless you're having those chats via the phone or Skype. So having a really robust home base, and my home base is keithkeller.com.au. Don't forget the IU because there's 175 other Keith Kellers in the US, one of which has the .com. What's your home base, Wendy?
Mine is cashlifemastery.com.
cashlifemastery.com. So that's the home base. That's absolutely essential in the world of online marketing. You've got to have that fundamental home. We've got a house. We own our house now, and it's a really lovely feeling to know that that's that really settled place. The second thing that's really interesting is the idea, and this is increasingly becoming more important, is the idea of a blog. Now, I have a blog using WordPress. Many people use Tumblr or Weebly, or there's a number of different sites you can use. The idea of a blog is really powerful because you can tell a story as it evolves. Like your home base, your website is typically quite static. It might take you a couple of weeks or months to build, but once you've built it, it usually stays quite static, quite similar to itself. But a blog is something you could do once or twice a day to say, here's an interesting event I went to. Here's a great book that I've read. Here's a thought that I thought you might enjoy. Here's a video that you might be doing, or you might have a chance to go deeper. And so a blog really is like what I call a spare room, an extension to the home base idea. Do you have a blog, or do you use the idea of blogging, or do you know people that do?
Absolutely. We blog all the time, and actually I teach blogging on Thursdays here on Blab. And it is, guys, I can't explain to you what a difference it has made in my business to be able to put out blog articles and have that little piece of information bringing people back to the website. And I do that by putting out the link to the blog through social media. And it really helps draw people in, because if you're making just a standard tweet, like Keith says, hey, I'm out walking the dog, people might, send it a heart or something, but they're not going to click on that link unless they know that it's something that's going to benefit them. Yeah. So you need to make sure that you're focusing on things that are actually going to benefit your niche. And that's, another thing about tweeting with the end in mind. You have to think ahead and be solving a problem of your customers with your blog.
Well, I'm very interested to pick up on this, because you've got another blab about blogging. There's so many words. It's very hard to get your head around and very hard to get your mouth around. You've got a blab about blogging. Try saying that 3 times, Pied Piper.
Is that right?
So tell me, what is the main advantage of having a blog over just a static website? What are the main advantages you see?
Well, basically, like I was saying before, is the blog is kind of like what you were saying, the spare room. It's the place that you can solve problems for your customers. And people want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So that's where you can take the problems of your customers, solve them, get that know, like, and trust factor going, put it out on your social media, draw people back to your website. And within your blog, you're going to have products and services that will further help your customers. So, then you increase your sales that way. And you're not out there like the regular car salesman trying to push your products. You're doing it through your blog and your website.
There's a really big phrase at the moment called inbound marketing. I really want to pick up on this idea. The old idea of outbound marketing is people ring out and go, hey, we've got this special offer. Can we come to your house and explain that? Hey, this cold calling idea. The idea of cold calling makes me feel sick. Someone knocking at your door. Knocking at your door going, hey, we've got this really cool special on electricity. If you just showed me the last 3 bills, I guarantee you that I'll be able to save you $10 a month. Well, that's really great, but I'm busy now. And really, can you go away? Everyone hates that. Everyone hates that. Even if you're saving $10 a month, someone's invaded your house, your time, your space. But inbound marketing is the idea. Well, here's a really good idea. If you want to save $10, we've charted it all out. And when you're ready, give us a call and we'll have a chat about it. When you're ready. Not me pushing on you. I'm here now, and if you don't take advantage of this in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to the next house and you missed out forever. Well, okay, go, because I'm cooking dinner and I'm just not in the mood. You've lost me. So inbound marketing compared to outbound marketing is the idea that this is exactly what a blog does. It says, look, I do know what I'm talking about. And if it has occurred to you that you need to do this, here's my phone number, here's my email. You contact me when you're ready and let's have a chat. And it's this trust that builds up, this enormous level of trust builds up that way, doesn't it?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying about the know, like, and trust factor. People just aren't going to buy from someone that they don't know. They don't know their level of expertise on the particular subject. You haven't proven yourself to them. And, if you're constantly in their face with stuff, then they're going to be like, whoa, they don't like nobody likes the car salesman techniques anymore, guys. It's just, if you're doing that, just stop it. Stop it.
And so with a blog, I'll just mention a couple of variations on a blog. There's now what's called a vlog, a video blog. And I've even heard a flog, which is, really quite funny, a photo blog. So if you don't like writing, don't worry. There's plenty of other ways to do it. In a way, this blab format is a little bit like blogging. It's a video blog. We're talking about what we know. We're just happening to put it in the video format rather than typing it out. So there's a vlog, a flog, and probably what we're now calling a blob. a blog about blab. So there's many formats, but the basic idea comes under the heading of what's called content marketing. People love to be able to read about it in their own time, and then when they ring you, they go, you know what, I've read about you, you're good. Can you come over? I need to talk to you about my air conditioner, or I've heard you're a very good person for fixing cars. Can you fix my car? Or, it's a very good trust building mechanism.
Right, because especially with video, Keith, because people get to see you. They get to see who you are, what you're about, what type of information that you're providing. And, with the video and the actual content, written content and podcasting now that's available to everybody, what a lot of people are doing is what they call content stacking on their blogs. Mm-hmm. So that way they have a video, then they have written content, and they have the podcast. So they've got all three pieces of information. So your customer actually can consume that any way that they choose and they feel comfortable with, because some people don't like to read. Some people don't want to sit there and watch a video. They're on the go. They'd rather listen to the podcast. So if you've provided all three ways for people to consume your information, then you're going to more than likely get people to know, like, and trust you quicker and increase your sales.
The idea of a word-only blog is pretty dead now.
Yeah.
The idea of a word-only blogs are pretty dead now, because you've got to at least have a compelling image. 40% of people say, look, I'd rather watch a video, to be honest. If you could put that exact same concept in a 2-minute video, I will watch it. And about 20% of people are saying, look, I don't have time for that, but I do walk the dog every night, and I'm stuck on a train for an hour, and I've got to fly to New York tomorrow, and I could be doing something on the plane. In fact, a person I personally know recently said, look, you just did this really cool podcast on SEO. Can you send those to me? Because I've got to fly to Miami tomorrow and I've got to get my head around SEO. I'll listen to you on the plane rather than watching some stupid movie. I might as well be learning something. So we're busy. The idea of reading a word-only blog is really quite archaic now. I personally don't read blogs. I like to listen to podcasts or watch short videos. That's how I learn, and that's increasingly becoming the case. But the third one I wanted to chat about before we wrap it up and invite some people into the chat room, and thank you so much for waiting, is the idea of a free teaser, or what's recently been called a lead magnet. And this is really important because when you've got people coming to your site and they go, actually, this guy is really good. I really like what he's talking about. One way to really build that trust is to say, well, look, if you're really thinking of working with me, here's a little freebie offer that I do. I've got me personally, I've got a free ebook, completely free, no strings attached. You basically just give me your email, which I guess is a payment of kind, and I send you the ebook. But what you get for free is a chance to find out whether I really do know what I'm talking about. And you've got something physical from me that hasn't cost you any money. So it's very low risk. So this is called a lead magnet. And the reason why it's called that is because there's an exchange. I'm giving you my free ebook. You're giving me an email. And then maybe I might email you occasionally to say, look, I've got an event coming up. Would you like to come? Or that book's now turned into a real book. Would you like to buy it? Or just ringing to say, or emailing to say hello, see if you need anything. And I personally don't do that as often as I could, but this is an interesting idea. Do you have any stories about the free teaser idea? Have you seen that in operation?
Oh yes, I use email marketing quite frequently. Basically, guys, if you're not doing email marketing, you're cutting yourself where sales are concerned. You need to have a sales and landing page provider. You need to have an autoresponder, and then you need to have that lead magnet. And you're giving out your lead magnet on your social media. You're getting those email opt-ins, and then you're using your autoresponder to email out your offer that you've created on your sales pages. So, it's kind of a little vicious cycle of things that you have to be able to do it properly. But if you are doing it, this is where you can take your business to another level. People talk a lot about email marketing is dead, but I'll have to tell you that I know for a fact that the leaders in the industry, they're still using it, and they would not still be using it if there weren't a reason for it. That's where a lot of their sales come from, is by putting out these lead magnets, getting you to opt in for it, and then turn around and email marketing back out something that they're selling, or event, like Keith says, something that they're going to, or promoting or putting on. That's how they do it, and that's how we all should be doing it.
I really like this format. I really like what we've come up with here, tweet with the end in mind, which is absolute homage to Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which is one of my favorite books of all time. This idea that you must, before you get onto Twitter or any social media site, have a plan. Yep. Just make sure that you've got an idea of where you're sending people and why you're sending them there. It's not just doing something for the sake of it. You've got a plan. So we've got a very good 3-point plan here now. Have a home base, a robust website. And if you want to see that in operation, keithkeller.com.au and cashlifemastery.com. You've got to have a blog, maybe blog once a week, once every day if you can, but once a week's a nice ratio. And then have a lead magnet, a free teaser. It could be an ebook, could be a checklist, it could be a podcast. And I apologize if you already know this stuff, but a lot of people, in spite of the fact that they know it, are still not doing it, aren't they?
And actually there should be a fourth thing, Keith. Take your knowledge and put it into action. That is the most important thing. Even if you don't know how to do all of this yet, take what you do know and put it into action. That's where 90% of entrepreneurs get stuck. They have all the stuff and they're doing things, and it's busy work, and they think they're getting somewhere when they're really not, because they're not breaking down whether or not this action is actually a money-making action. So I would think that's my fourth thing.
we can talk in subsequent episodes about things like Google Analytics and making sure that if you've got a blog, is anyone reading it? And if they're not reading it, what are you doing wrong? And if they are reading it, what are you doing right? And do that again, rinse and repeat. So we've hit the 20-minute mark. That's probably about enough for the recording section. What we might do now is stop the recording and then come back with the after show party, where we'll invite some of the people that have been in the show, patiently waiting into the hot seat so they can share their knowledge. I know a good guy from Puerto Rico is in the call, and also Carla is waiting patiently to come in. So why don't we invite some people on?
Okay, and actually, Keith, before we end the recording, let's let everybody know how to reach you.
Okay, so free ebook and all of the things we talked about today, Keith Keller, KELLER.com.au, and I'm at Keith Keller on Twitter. So everything I do is there. And there's a free ebook and blogs, all sorts of really cool goodies so that you can build the trust factor. And Wendy, how do people do the same for you?
Okay, and actually my name is Wendy Four from Cash Life Mastery. You can reach me on Facebook at Cash Life Mastery. That is my platform of choice. But you can also reach me on Twitter, Cash Life Mastery, and our website, cashlifemastery.com. And if you need any help with your business, marketing, social media, please, we're here to help you. Ask your questions, and that is what we're here for, to help you get along your way and into the path to success. So guys, thank you for joining Cash Life Mastery Social Juice, and we will see you again next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And if you're in the middle, I don't know. You'll have to figure it out.
11 a.m. Melbourne time.